Welcome to Timebomb, the Kylie Album Showdown podcast. We're back again, and we are on to, I think this is the third episode in round two, right?
Yeah.
Third episode, round two. Tonight we're going to decide between Aphrodite, newly set Impossible Princess, Aphrodite and KM94. So batten down the hatches, we're ready for a fight. And before we start that, I want to say hello to Gary and to Elliot. How are you both?
We're good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm just admiring your chain. Look at the size of you, by the way. Like, seriously. Wow, massive.
He is getting big. He's getting bigger by the episode, isn't he, Alan?
He's like the Incredible Hulk. He'd be green and massive by the final episode. And how are you, Gary?
I'm good. I since our last record, I haven't stopped listening to Tension Live, the album, because it came out, I think, just after we recorded. And
incredible.
Of course.
Bloody incredible. Yeah. What a live album. Such memories. I will say this now to go on record. You two losers missed out on this tour. How you did not go and see this, like, losers.
I know.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You kind of feel like you're there. I mean, I'm not a big fan of live albums, but it really is something, isn't it? When you were saying it's like a disco. And really, it's just incredible. Like, and that does she still work with Steve? Those intros are amazing.
Yeah.
The intro to Tension is so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before that keyboard kicks in, the intro is just incredible, and the whole album sounds amazing.
I think all the intros. I mean, I loved the actual. The first intro, the intro into Lights, Camera, Action. And the sad person that I am, so because you boys missed out on the tour, you won't know this, but every night when she came on stage, she would say the name of the city and say, "Let's break the tension," and everybody would lose their shit. But for the live recording, because they've recorded it in loads of different cities, it's not just one show.
Yeah.
So they've taken all the references to cities out of it. So I think she just says, "We got to break the tension." But for me, it's really missing that moment where, like, the start of the show, where she's like, you know, the first night I saw it was Birmingham, let's break the tension.
Yeah.
And people were pissing themselves. Like, they were literally losing their shit on the floor. And the city thing made it. The geek that I am is like, I hate the fact that they cut them out. The other bit that I love is the bit in All the Lovers where, you know, she's the breakdown into, like, the when it goes crazy. There's always glitter and stuff. And again, she would always do the city name, I love you, or city name, we love you. And they've changed it in the live tour. They've just gone, I think it's we love you. I can't remember what it said, but it's just, I just miss that. Like, I know why they've done it.
Yeah.
It's a reference to loads of different shows. And In My Arms from the crowd with Mexico, I think it was recorded in Mexico with the crowd. It's just incredible. Like, anyone who's in that show who listens to this episode, I applaud you. Like, we heard you in the background to that song. Oh, incredible. But I'm not here to sell.
They've achieved it to make you feel like you were there, because it's just brilliant.
Well, you weren't, Alan.
I know, but when I dance around the bedroom, I am kind of there.
I was definitely one of the people that went through that album and was like, oh yeah, no, I should have been there. But
in fairness, though, Elliot, you have been to everything else. So in fairness, he does his fair share to keep the gig economy going. Let's be honest, you know,
this is very true.
He does his fair share.
I mean, I'm fingers crossed that there'll be some form of filmed version of it coming in the future.
Netflix
documentary
March 26th, apparently.
Oh, is this the gospel according to Alan Lynch? Is this what it is?
I don't know. Somebody said early next year. It's not. She's not going to want to bring out something go against Taylor in December. Sure. I thought it might be nice for Christmas, like Robbie's one. But no, I think it's going to be early next year. I think maybe she's got something up her sleeve for next year. I mean, she must now be thinking, right, fuck this, I can tour the world, you know? So, yeah, she's definitely got another one in her, at least, I would say.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Shall we move on with the episode before I keep talking about Tension Live?
Somebody want to...
Yes.
Run through the rules, Elliot, for those who are new to the podcast. And hello, if it's your first time here.
Hello and welcome to the madness.
If you are new, yes, welcome to the madness. That is the Timebomb Kylie Album Showdown podcast. We are in the second bracket, as we're calling it. And yes, we have basically got second round and roster of albums to go through. We have already picked, if you didn't hear from last week's episode, the two albums that will be battling out this week. And we have KM94 or Kylie Minogue 94. And then the other one is Aphrodite. We're going to do a bit more of a deeper dive this time round into each one. We've also got, as a continuation of the second round, some special guests and friends of the podcast to share their insights. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. And then when we get to the end of the discussion, one of them will progress to the third round, and then one of them will wind up joining a contentious crowd in the Timebomb Kylie bin.
Love that you threw that word in there, Elliot. Yes, a contentious.
That's reminded me of something just before you go on. I think it might be the first time, maybe not, I won't really pay attention, but let's get to its birthday today, 34 years old.
Oh,
so
yes,
got to say hello.
Yes.
Elliot was admiring Kylie's hair earlier. Kylie's
Happy
91
birthday,
hair.
Kylie.
So yeah, I don't know if we've done one on the actual anniversary, but yeah, let's get to it. It's 34 if all of you want to feel really old.
God, I remember being
34 years old.
Jesus,
I know. I like it was yesterday.
And we put it in the bin in round one against KM94, actually.
No.
Elliot,
when you say we, you mean Elliot.
Elliot,
Yeah,
that one over there.
Somebody salacious. I don't know. Scandalous. weird gossips going around this podcast. I can't control this.
Well, in your contentious era that you're in, roll the Kylie coin. I can't talk.
Yes.
Roll the coin.
Okay, then who is calling the coin? That is the question.
You go first, Gary. I remember calling heads last time. You go first, Gary.
Tails.
Okay, and you can call. So you want tails? It is heads.
Oh, seriously, every week he gets to go first.
It's not going well for you this time. It's not going well for you this time.
Okay, then.
It's not going well. Honestly, the wheel has turned.
The wheel is turning.
Very slowly.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, right. The suspense. Our survey says, ooh, KM94.
I got a bit too cocky there. I
got Aphrodite.
Means that Gary, yes, you have Aphrodite.
I love KM94.
I do,
love it.
To be fair. Like, hello, what an era.
Oh, I do actually. I do. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's do it.
Okay,
let's battle off.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Come
on, Alan.
Let's begin.
Let's go for
Let me get my notes. Okay, I don't want to repeat myself because I actually managed to get KM94 through last time. I think I did a pretty good job then. We'll focus a bit more on sort of some of the stuff around the album and its success around the world because I found out today that Confide in Me, but it was number one Confide in Me in Australia for 4 weeks.
Really?
Like it was a massive smash hit over there. This was, came out in 94. The singles Confide in Me, followed by Put Yourself in My Place, and weirdly 6 months later, followed by Where Is the Feeling? And one thing I was thinking about today really was, I don't think I appreciated at the time how much of a gear shift in her image there was with this album. Probably, I mean, the music was a gear shift. The production was so kind of new and fresh. And the video was incredible, a gorgeous day glow, sort of drugged up nightmare of a video, colors everywhere. She was looking incredible. And I didn't really at the time appreciate just that gear shift and change because she was wearing a suit on the album cover. And I did wonder maybe was it somewhat of a kickback against the tag that she'd been given on Rhythm of Love and then on Let's Get To It, where I mean, Rhythm of Love, she was called Sexy Kylie and Sex Kitten and all this stuff. And I don't know whether that's sat well with her because I don't know whether that's naturally her. She's very sexy and a fantastic pop star, but I don't think she's never gotten her tits out or anything. She was very coquettish, I think is the word, but she never...
What is that word you just said? You blow me away with these words. Say that again, Alan.
Well, she's kind of coquettish, I think. Yeah, it's like being a little bit kitteny, kind of sexy, but,
wow,
just kind of teasing, I think, is probably the right way to put it. But,
you could have just said teasing, but you said coquettish. Like,
excuse me for having a vocabulary. So anyway, she'd gone from that, I think. But then we had this one come along, and there was a 3-year gap, and there was a real maturity, I think. The music, to get back to that, it was a wild departure. The album is very of the moment, 94. If anyone was around then, Put Yourself in My Place is, I think, one of her finest singles.
Love it.
It really is. I read today, too, that she won Best Video of the Year at the ARIAs in Australia, so they were loving that. And it really was a really, really beautiful video.
If I got KM94 today, I was going to share that video. That was one of my props to sell, because what a video. It was just incredible.
Yeah. It was, but I think most people have seen it. We probably won't replay it, but can you play that bit I sent you of her doing it live at the Prince Charles? What was that foundation he runs called?
I can't remember, but she was on a piano in like.
Isn't it just called the Princess Trust, or am I making that up?
The Princess Trust. You're right, Elliot. Well done. One of us has their brain switched on, but she's up on a piano, and I think I didn't appreciate her, because I do remember watching that, but I didn't appreciate just how good her vocals had gotten even at that point, because I think we talk a lot about how she's gotten better over the years, but she clearly was working on her voice, because this is particularly nice, I think. So, do you have it? Can you play
I've got it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
I'm just here to service you. Oh, that came out wrong.
Excuse me.
Phrasing.
Okay.
Anyway.
We're definitely going to get an X rating now on YouTube. Look how 90s those lights are. Wow. I mean, you can see there the difference between, take her last performance for Let's Get To It or whatever. Gone are the dancers, gone are that, the whole image changed, and then the hair is much more grown up. So, yeah, she definitely was taking a leap and becoming, a different version of herself. The guy who wrote that song actually wrote Sober for Pink as well. And then he went and won.
No way.
Yeah, he's written lots of songs. Written for Kelly Clarkson, Fisher Spooner, Santana. His name is Jimmy Harry. He produced the song. And then he also won a Golden Globe for Masterpiece for Madonna. Wow. So he went on to have an absolutely massive career, this guy. No idea who he really is. But he had a huge career afterwards. But I think we talked about this last time, the difference between that and Confide in Me. I mean, I felt like she was pushing the boundaries with Confide in Me. I think maybe Put Yourself in My Place was more of an A&R choice. It was like, okay, we have to play it safe as well. Because the whole album, I feel, is a bit like that. They're real pushing the envelope for her, not necessarily changing anything in dance music, but embracing what was happening at that moment and really sort of going hell for leather with that early 90s dance explosion, dance pop. But I do think a couple of the songs were a bit record company. They were like, okay, look, we can let you go off and work with, Pete Heller and Steve Farley and stuff like that. But we have to, put a couple of songs on there that we can fall back on should everybody go, we don't like that.
Isn't it interesting, the ones that did better? Confide in Me, where she was totally experimental, blew up.
Excuse me.
As you say, the one that was probably the safer record, it did well. It got to number 11 in the UK. I don't know what it did anywhere else. It did well, but it didn't go to the heights that Confide in Me got, because Confide in Me was so different. But when Kylie goes experimental, it works.
Yeah. Record companies sticking their nose in and not knowing what they're talking about. I can give a good example there. But it was a good second single. But unfortunately for the album, it's a great album. And I listen to it all the time. I've really gone back to it a lot since we started this podcast. It's a great record. And she was doing lots of weird stuff around that time. and also making TV adverts. I don't know if can we quickly show that TV advert? It was so common to advertise your album on the telly in the middle of Coronation Street or something. It used to cost a fortune. But people would just all of a sudden they'd be buy the new Michael Jackson album or whatever. So Kylie, I don't remember seeing this on UK telly. I think this is from Australian telly. Am I right?
It is, but there was definitely a version on UK as well, because I remember it being on way back when. It again, it's very of its time. Here it is.
Yeah.
Check out the graphics on that. I mean, they were modern, right?
She just looks so smug as well. Like, there's just like I know.
It's a bit like your school teacher telling you to get your homework in on time or something, you know? It's like, oh, God. But, yeah, it didn't make an awful lot of sense. But, you know, she was clearly trying to flog the album, to be fair. I mean, there wasn't really a tour around 90 KM. There just wasn't, which I think maybe, again, you know, I was looking overall, this has sold just shy of 500,000 copies in its lifetime. So it's a 500,000 seller, but it did take a long time to get there. I think maybe because of no tour, obviously, you know, and then the 6-month gap between the second, third single, it didn't have the legs of the previous albums for sure. But
she did 2 shows, if I remember rightly. There were festivals. She did what used to be called in Scotland was a Tea in the Park, and in Ireland.
Yes.
Alan, you will remember the festival in Ireland because you know it was your era. Fela. She did Fela.
Oh God, yeah. Was that in Tipperary?
There was in Tipperary, yeah. And I remember there's videos online, but she did it with the live bands, and actually it was again for her. I mean, she'd used live bands before, but actually doing like a credible festival set. She was the special guest of both of them, and it was really good for it. But yeah, you kind of, if you watch that back, you get an idea where a tour could have gone. It would have been very band led. Yeah. Ultimately, where Intimate Live ended up. But they're the only 2 performances that I remember of being a scale.
Yeah. I think for her, it was the first time too. I mean, I know she'd worked with live bands on tours before, but artistically, this was a really, we kind of thought, okay, she's back and we like her. We like this version of her. But I'm going to cheat a little bit before I finish.
Here we go.
I'm not really cheating.
Careful now.
I just want to talk about 95, because 94, obviously, the campaign went into 95, but it was in 95. Now, this is not on the album, but I wanted to tie it in because we were talking earlier about Taylor Swift. I mean, it's all anybody's been able to talk about for 2 weeks now, and Elliot's a big fan. I'm a fan. And the video for Where the Wild Roses Grow, and now I know this is not on KM. I know it's not.
But it's on that era. I'm going to give you this, Alan, because I think I know where you're going, so I might let you cheat.
Yeah.
Not that
the video is based on the story of Ophelia. So I don't know if you've ever seen the video for this, Elliot. She gets killed by Nick Cave, and then the cover, where she's lying at one point, and it's very reminiscent of the Taylor album cover. She's lying dead in the water, isn't she? Looking stunning. And I'm not a massive fan of the song, I'll be honest with you, but I love the concept. And again, it was so left of field for her to having released this really kind of pop album in KM to then just do a big massive swerve and say, hey, I've got this Nick Cave song. And then for it to be a success, it was a really big hit in Australia. The Aria, I think it won Video of the Year, and then I think it was number 11 in the UK. If I'm not wrong, I'm going to say 11.
It was number 11.
So it put her back in the top 20 again, and she'd had another top 20 with Where Is the Feeling. They were all top 20. That era was the top 20 era, if you like. But
shall we hear from Ryan to hear what he has to say about your album?
Oh God, yeah.
I'll tell you the story of how I met Ryan, first of all. So I've known Ryan. I met him in Sitges many years ago.
Hey.
And the reason why I'm going to tell you this story, I'm going to show it to camera because he actually reminds me and sent me a picture. There he is in the Kylie outfit. You can see
it now. Yeah,
I can see it now.
Yeah. So when I first met him, he was dressed like this. So I knew we'd be friends for a long time, and I've known him for years.
Was he dressed like that in Sitges?
Yeah, it was the white party night, and that was how he went to the white party, because he's an absolute legend. Of course. Why wouldn't you?
That's brilliant.
Why the hell wouldn't you?
This is his sale of Kylie Minogue 94. Come on, do me proud.
Greetings from Belfast, Garry, Alan, and Elliot. How are you doing? Are you all keeping well? Just wanted to congratulate you on such a good podcast. I love every time a new episode of Timebomb drops, as Garry will well know, because I'm always texting him going, oh, I know which album should win this one. So I'm here to plead the case for Kylie Minogue 94 to make it through to round 3, and it is one of my favourites. It reminds me of whenever I worked in an early learning centre back in the day, and I would have worked in the stockroom, and I would have played this album all day just while I was stacking shelves and undoing boxes, and it was just such a good album. It was because it was her first one after leaving PWL and joining Deconstruction. It was just such a change in sound. It was just so more mature. The album is just so musically diverse, dance pop and adult contemporary. And I just loved everything about this album. It was like a real mix of sounds, so there was something to keep everyone happy. Obviously, Confide in Me is my favourite track on the album. It was such a song. From whenever the strings started and then her ethereal vocals, and then that beat kicks in. Oh my God, it was just unreal. It reminds me of Madonna's Justify My Love, the Beast Within remix, just with that Eastern vibe, and it was just so cool. That beat was just so cool. And I can remember trying to think what the video was going to be like whenever it came out. I was expecting some sort of like black and white, really sexy sort of Parisian set video, and then what we got was just so out of the box. It was just so camp, and so like the color saturation. I love the black PVC catsuit. I was going to wear that, but I thought I would wear some Madonna just to get some Madonna in to annoy Garry. I could have worn my white Kylie Minogue catsuit, but I decided against it because you need to keep your followers. Don't want people a bit off and leaving because of it. But yeah, the video was just unreal. It was just so, the color saturation, the pop art look of it, it was like something straight out of a cartoon strip. It was just so cool. And over the years, she's done some amazing live performances. I was listening to the Tension tour version in work today, and it was so cool. But my favourite is her performance in Aphrodite La Folie tour, apart from that awful holographic tinfoil dress that she wears for the performance, because it's woeful. Can't really talk about this album without mentioning Put Yourself in My Place. It is basically pure sex. She was so hot in that video. It was so kitsch, that retro 60s Barbarella sex kitten vibe to it, and that phallic spaceship, because we all love something phallic in a music video. But yeah, it was just so cool. Probably my other favourite song would be Time Will Pass You By, because I loved the M People in the 90s, and it basically sounded like an M People song. So I really hope this pleading the case for Kylie 94 gets her through to round 3, and it beats whoever it's up against.
Okay, now first off,
Brilliant.
I want to say that was absolutely fucking brilliant. It was really great. Fantastic background.
Ryan thinks he's on Eurovision at the start of that. It was like as if he was dialing in with the votes from the Irish jury.
He knows his stuff, and yeah, thank you very much. That was a really big up. I think a lot of maybe newer Kylie fans maybe don't go back to it so much, but yeah, that artistic leap from Let's Get To It to Kylie Minogue was really quite something. She served us everything we wanted at the time, and I think it definitely deserves its place in the top 5. But that's not up to me; it's up to Elliot. So I hope I managed to sell it to you, Elliot. And thanks again to your friend, because that was brilliant.
Are we Ryan, as we call him? Are we Ryan?
Sorry, I forgot your name. Right, Ryan. Thank you so much. That was brilliant. Yeah. Okay, over and out. That's my KM sell for this week.
Thank you, Alan. That was brilliant. That was really good.
I enjoyed that more than I thought I would. I had a lot more notes for Aphrodite song. I'm going to be watching you tonight now with this Aphrodite. No cheating, no messing.
Okay, then. Well, I guess we swerve onto Garry and onto Aphrodite. Take it away.
Did I mention that I have tattoos on my arm that really represent this whole era? Did I ever mention that?
Yeah.
Here's my sale's going to start with this guy here is referencing one of the dancers on the tour, because the dancers were dressed on the tour like Spartans, and also this is one of the they had like shields and they all had this image on it. He also has a Kylie K in his neck, and on this side I have a lyric from Better Than Today, which I'm full of props tonight, people. I'm ready for this shit, fucking ready. We haven't sworn enough tonight at all. Hang on, where's my props? Better Than Today. There we go. I have the CD single. Look at that little beauty. Look at that. But I want to focus on a few things on this, because I think, look, we know the album. We sold it in round one. This album has some real classics to it and some real niches. I also have some picture discs. Look at this. Get Out of My Way.
Oh, wow.
And All the Lovers. And on the back of this is All the Lovers in Spanish, and it's called Los Amores. And it's a Spanish version of All the Lovers, which I've learned, obviously, because I speak quite the Spanish. So I've learned that's just beautiful, and I play it all the time. I was talking to some Spanish guys, and they were like, actually, that's not the best translation of how you say All the Lovers. There's a better way to say it. Anyway, who's to argue with Kylie Minogue, huh? Yeah. But I have this Spanish little beauty. I'm full of props. Like, this is the tour book from Aphrodite La Folie.
Oh, wow.
And it's so beautiful. It's still in the package. It is open, but it's still in the package. Because I think the album actually came alive with this tour. And the tour just took Kylie to a different level. Like, the songs were there, the songs were quality, and they allowed her to take her stage show to another level. And yes, everyone talks about the water. Like, there was Elliot at the end of the show, you didn't see Aphrodite, but at the end there was the whole, like, you know, basically she did a Vegas show that she took on the tour around the world, and brought this amazing thing to it. And I'm going to share a video, and it's actually not of the actual a song within the tour itself. It's of the closing, because there's something for me about this. The tour was epic, but this kind of basically her walk off the stage. To me, this is the moment that Kylie was like, "Yeah, I'm global again." Like, she'd done it with Fever, but I think she was still, you know, learning her craft. And with Aphrodite La Folie, the live tour, it was just there. It was all out.
Yeah.
London, thank you a million times. Thank you to my incredible cast and crew. I've loved every minute and every one of you. Good night.
So I assume you went to this tour.
I went twice in London, 3 times in Manchester, once in Cardiff.
Can you tell me, how much did the venue smell of chlorine?
It didn't, actually. And I was there the night that got recorded. And they really fucking threw the water up that night. Like, they drowned the crowd.
Okay.
But, like, that's just so epic. And I still get goosebumps watching it.
It was massive, this stage. I didn't realise just how massive it was. But also, I'm very concerned about how much the water bill was. Fuck me. Wow. You know,
they recycled the water, Ryan. They recycled
waste water. You shouldn't waste water. But oh my god!
Save the planet.
No, I mean it's dead impressive though. Can you imagine how many people it took to tour that around the world? It must have taken a truckload of people. You know,
I don't think it made money. I don't think it was like a financial success.
No, it didn't.
But if you look at like the new Gaga stage, which I haven't seen the tour yet, I'm going in 2 weeks. I know Elliot's seen it. But like this, what was here on the tour was like a set that was kind of a fixed set, which most people don't have anymore. Like it's all screens and stuff. And actually, like, and also the projections on this tour weren't LED screens; they were old school projections that you used on this version of the tour. So yeah, it was definitely a moment, and I definitely think it represents the size of this era. It was huge for in terms of commercial success. The album, if I remember rightly, Alan, it charted 2 in the UK. I think 1 in Australia. I can't remember, but it was big. It was big.
I think either way, you're right. It really did. It planted her right back, and I think it was genius to work with Stuart Price because
that's where I was going to go. Stuart really like made this album
hitmaker,
solid.
Yeah.
And also she worked with other people. So there's a Calvin Harris track on there. It was Calvin and Jake Shears that she worked together. That was the second time she'd worked with Calvin. And there's some other tracks on there that I think, like Cupid Boy, for example, they're not the same kind of intensity as the bigger tracks, but actually they've got a place, and they translated really, really well live to this tour. I know a real super fan of this album, and his name is Mark, and Mark has agreed. Hey. Do you know Mark, Elliot? Mark has agreed to sell his album to us. And I know it was hard for Mark because I've listened to a podcast that Mark was on years ago where he basically was on a whole episode just about this album. And this girl can talk about Aphrodite, but I gave her 3 minutes. I gave her a challenge and I said, you've got 3 minutes to talk about Aphrodite. And Mark smashed it. Let's hear what Mark has to say.
Hey guys. Okay, so we're going to talk about Aphrodite, which is my favourite Kylie album by far. Okay, I truly believe this is Kylie's strongest album overall. I love pretty much every album since Light Years, which is when I truly became a huge Kylie fan. I love the way that this album followed on from the album X, which I think she went in a completely different direction for. And I love that because it just represents how much diversity she has as an artist. I love that Stuart Price was so strongly with this album because he is one of my favourite producers. He's worked with some of my favourite artists of all time. So we're going to jump straight in with my 3 favourite songs, which was so difficult to choose because I pretty much love every single song on this album. So the first one has got to be Get Out of My Way. It's basically one of my top 2 ever favorite Kylie songs. It represents, basically, it came out nearly 15 years ago, and I think it's really stood the test of time. I love how fun and the empowering messages that it has behind it. With the, a strong sense of independence. It's like I said, it's really stood the test of time, and it's definitely one of my favorite ever Kylie songs that, she's ever brought out. The next one we're going to go with is obviously All the Lovers. I think even if you're not really a Kylie fan and you were like, name a Kylie song, they'd be like, All the Lovers. Everyone knows All the Lovers. It's, angelic, it's anthemic, it lifts your mood, it's euphoric, and it's a classic Kylie song that, you would often hear her do as a finale song on one of her tours because it's just such an iconic song. And the third song, which was impossible to choose because I love basically every song on the album, is Cupid Boy. I love the isolated kind of guitar riff at the beginning and then the really strong beat that kind of kicks in. I just remember listening to it for the first time, having such a huge adrenaline rush when I heard it. So I could have basically picked about 6 or 7 songs, but they're the ones I've chosen. So they're my 3 favourite Kylie songs on the album, and this is why Aphrodite is my favourite Kylie album of all time. Okay? Mwah.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Done.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
He's a super fan of this album, like such a
No
super fan.
way.
I know how hard that was for him to try and pick 3 songs that he thought were the best sell. But yeah, he loves it.
Well done, he was brilliant. But can I just say that no one ever picks "Can't Beat the Feeling" as one of their favorite songs, and I just don't understand it.
It's a
Like, I
great
don't get
song. It's a great
Before
song.
I go, without bigging you up too much, because I know it's your album, but I was listening to their live tour album on YouTube, on Spotify yesterday, and they mash it up with "Love at First Sight."
Yeah.
And I had heard it years ago, like 10 years ago maybe, but I totally forgotten about it. So I said, I wonder if she did "Can't Beat the Feeling" on the tour. I mean, that mashup is another fucking fantastic, isn't it?
It's genius. If I remember rightly, Steve Anderson said that was one of his favorite album tracks, so it had to go in the show. And they mashed
you
it
wouldn't
with
put the two of them together. Yeah, you wouldn't have ever said they'd work. That and her version, which I think is beautiful, and again another real step for her with her voice. And the fact that she can hit the notes, I couldn't believe. But her cover version of "There Must Be an Angel Playing With My Heart," the Eurythmics song, Elliot, classic #1 for the Eurythmics. But Annie Lennox has a singular voice, like she's just incredible. So for her to get up there and do it in a high register as well, like she wasn't there, there was no key changes, no like let's take it down a few keys. She just sings the shit out of it. Honestly, inspired cover version, and it just for some reason fitted the team of the tour.
Well,
Get my Irish coming out now. The team of the tour.
The team of the tour. The team of the tour. Top of the morning to you, Alan. Top of the morning. No, because that.
Oh my God.
I have an issue. Sometimes if there's a H after the T, it's like tree.
We can't help it, Alan. We can't help it. It's embedded.
That really suited the theme of the tour. The tour.
It was an angel reference in that section. So there was the song "Looking for an Angel," and she flew over the audience.
Yeah, that's right.
Sat
that's
on top
right,
of one of her dancers, who was the angel, came down, and then did the Annie Lennox song. Again, Kylie was flying on top of things before. Like I admit to have not watched any of this.
We're not allowed to talk about Katy Perry.
You knew I was going to go there, but she's fucking flying around arenas on something. Like
we're not allowed to
we're
talk
not
about
going
Katy
there.
Perry.
We're not going there. But Kylie did it first.
Swerve away from that.
Let's swerve. So back to something that Mark talked about, because you can't get away from how feckin' fierce this song is, and it's Get Out of My Way. I've just so many things, so many props to show you. But Elliot, you text me a few weeks ago about when the new Kylie album came out, the new live album, and the words you gave to me, and I'm not trying to butter you up tonight, but I'm going to play.
What did I say?
I think I'm going to play, which is potentially one of the best transitions between songs ever in a live album. You might remember the text, Elliot, but you definitely sent it to me, and I'm going to play it, and you're going to see why Get Out of My Way is still in 2025 feckin' banging.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Take a chance tonight and try something new. You're getting boring, you're so boring, and I don't recognize the zombie you're turning to.
Listen to that crowd.
Amazing.
Listen to them. The transition in your eyes into Get Out of My Way. You remember the text now, Elliot, don't you?
I think I do.
I mean, are you drunk right now? I think it's just for you.
No. I
think you sent it to the group chat. I remember. Yes,
Yeah, it was
incredible.
I think it was my first go around of the live album, and it because I didn't know the way the set list went. I was just in the middle of just listening to it, and I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah,
it's good.
Just stunning. It's just
really
stunning.
Good. Very nice.
And when you hear the crowd there, this album was released 2000 and. I don't know. Alan, you're the stats guy. You know this stuff. Years ago.
For Aphrodite, 2010.
There you go. So it's 15 years old. We've had so many big tracks since then, but you go from lights, camera, action, in your eyes, into Get Out of My Way. And by song 3, you're absolutely smacking people in the face with it. And I just adore it. I adore it. And I think exactly what Mark said. It's so fierce. And it's still, for me, it's a very empowering song. And again, it reminds me of why this era was a time where Kylie just felt supernatural.
Yeah, a bit of a force of nature.
I wish I had clever words like you had, Alan, that I could say. Give me a clever word that I could describe that. Give me what's the word?
Let me just say
coquettish again.
Coquettish. She was so coquettish at the time.
I don't think you could ever refer to Garry as coquettish. But
I said coquettish. I didn't know about coquettish.
I wanted to say also, I know I'm big in your album book, but I can't let this go because I don't think you're going to mention it. On Spotify, there's an extra track at the end of Aphrodite called "Go Hard or Go Home."
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't on the album, right?
It was a B-side, but I think it's just been added on Spotify to the main album.
Very good. But moreover, there's another one called Mighty Rivers, which is, I bought it on iTunes because I don't think it's on Spotify. I don't think it is.
I think it is now. I think it is now.
Is it?
Is it on
it might be on an expanded version. I still, to this day, like Mighty Rivers, I think would have made an amazing song as well. I'm just saying about the quality of the music at the time. To leave those two off, was quite something, to be fair.
I remember seeing an interview somewhere and she was like, she was basically saying that. She's like, I'm giving you B-sides like Go Hard or Go Home. And like, she knew she had some good shit. That era was a collector's dream. There was like fan experience editions of the album. There was loads of stuff. But I found this today, which to be honest, I totally forgot I had it. This was the Aphrodite Le Folie Tour edition of Aphrodite.
Okay. Oh, I remember. Yeah.
So it can. I think it's still. Yeah, it's not. It's not even. It's. Well, I mean, it has basically it's 3 discs, and it has a remix disc, a mega mix disc, and then the original album. But look how beautiful it is, and all linked back to the show. Gorgeous, and it's just. It was an era of eras of era. So I'm going to leave it at that, Elliot. Aphrodite and Aphrodite Le Folie for the win. Boom.
Come on.
Well done. Thank you for that, Garry.
I was good, wasn't I, Elliot?
Really well done.
Right.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I'm not normally this confident at all, but come on, this one. No. Come on, Elliot. I've lost the last 2 weeks. Come on.
I think that out of the two of them, I can understand they are kind of similar in a way when you were referring to like having standout singles.
Yeah.
But I think with the era,
put that away.
I think it has to go to Aphrodite, and I wasn't expecting to say that like halfway through. I wasn't sure if I was going to get sold there. I was, but I think that actually getting to hear a bit more about it, I think, is definitely sort of.
Look, I agree with you. I think good choice, Elliot. Yeah,
but I think that it's really interesting. It's really interesting the way that KM is so like 90s. Like I think that it's really nice as almost like a time capsule of sort of like that world that she was occupying. And I think that in the grand scheme and in the sort of like horizon line of Kylie's career, like Aphrodite definitely feels like one of those moments where like it was a signal light to like what eventually is becoming the Tension tour that we just had.
It's a really good point, actually. Yeah, I mean, pared back for Tension, but still status-wise.
Yeah.
Like, she knew it. Like, you could just think those tours happened back to back, and they would be as euphoric as all. I'm going to say, I think you had a hard job tonight, Alan, but I agree that KM94 has a place. And if you asked me at the start, would I want KM94 being in like the top 5? I would have been absolutely. It should be there. It's strong. I have such good memories of it. But Aphrodite for the win.
So I 100% agree with Elliot. And I knew if I got KM that I was going to lose tonight because I was going to fight like a dirty bitch for Aphrodite. Like,
You
I
are a
was.
dirty bitch, Alan. You know yourself.
I was ready to go, and I got a bit confident because like the wheel has gone in my favor for 2 weeks now. I just got very cocky, and then I thought, "Fuck it, it's not going my way." But listen, Aphrodite, brilliant, deserves to go into the next round because it's just a cracking album. So goodbye, KM. We did our best for you, but bye bye.
I think we tried hard for KM. We really, really tried hard.
Yeah.
Well done, Gary, for winning the episode with Aphrodite. So we have now got KM joining the rest of the crew in the Kylie Timebomb bin. But yeah, we will now basically, if we just got 2 albums.
Yeah, we don't need to spin. We just know what's coming.
We don't have to spin.
There's no spin, but we can see the wheel. This is what's left.
It's going to be an epic battle because, I do love both of these records. And then you've got the Rhythm of Love singles. It's hallowed ground, Rhythm of Love, for a lot of Kylie fans, particularly the older ones. And then Tension, I think, has become a new firm fan fave, right? Like, people just love it. People I know who don't even really like her loved some of the songs on that album. But the fans really took to it. So it's going to be a tough old fight next time.
Get ready to fight like a dirty bitch.
I'm going to get ready,
Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm always ready to fight like a dirty bitch.
I guess that's the thing. I guess that is it. I think we have the albums ready to go for next time. We'll be doing the final episode of this second round, which is wild.
See you next time, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see you next time.
Thank you. Good night.